NFC Divisional round matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. I've got a 6-pick flex that I absolutely love to share with you guys today. Already sent it in to my VIP members. Already locked it in myself. We're going to be breaking down exactly why I like these 6 plays. If you enjoy the content, it would be greatly appreciated if you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It's free. It does greatly help me out, and I'll be helping you guys out with these videos for free. The rest of the NFL season, we got NBA action going on. I'm covering that as well. No NBA video today, but I'm giving you this NFL 6-pick flex. I will have more picks going on for the earlier game over in the VIP, and I will have NBA picks going on in the VIP. If you're listening to the content you're enjoying, you're like, this guy knows what he's talking about, I want more picks from him, that's going to be the answer. It's going to be linked below in the description. It is on Patreon. It is patreon.com/KJK_DFS. So check that out if you're interested. Let's get right into it, guys. Let's break down the 6-pick flex and tell you exactly why I love it for this matchup here tonight. So Green Bay Packers taking on the San Francisco 49ers. This game has a 50.5 over-under. It is a 10-point spread in favor of the San Francisco 49ers. So the Niners are expected to handle the Packers pretty easily here. 5-10 favorites. You look at the weather report for this one. We have a pretty good shot of seeing rain in game. I actually got another update on the weather here before recording this. It looks like it's going to be a pretty solid shot. We're going to see rain all game in this one, all right, guys? So just keep that in mind. It's going to be a rainy game. NFL playoffs. We got some playoff weather. We'll kick things off with the home side, and we're going to discuss this game script, this stack that I'm stacking up, and exactly why I like it. I think the Niners are going to control this game. You look at the Niners as far as how their offense fares out, their run-to-pass ratio, their depth chart, Sam Darnold #1 this site, like their little jokes. But pass-to-run ratio, we got a 52.1% to 47.9% pass-to-run ratio. So it's a very balanced attack, and it makes sense because when you got a guy like Christian McCaffrey, the #0 on the running back depth chart, you're going to get him to rock a lot, man, and that's what I expect them to do here tonight against a Green Bay Packers team. When you're looking at the matchup, the San Francisco 49ers have a 20% run block advantage with their offensive line. No surprise to me because they have one of the best run blocking units in the entire NFL. As a matter of fact, they have the #1 run block grade in the entire NFL, an 82.8 run block grade. That leads every single team in the NFL by a wide margin. The next closest team to them is the Detroit Lions, and it's not all that close, to be honest. So this Niners run offense is elite. They got the run blocking. They have the stud in Christian McCaffrey behind him. Then you look at the run defense for the Packers. It is less than stellar. They have the 16th worst run defense in the entire NFL. So makes sense. We got some rainy weather in this one. We have an elite run block unit with the Niners, and we have a game where the Niners are 5-10 favorites. So what does that tell me? Most likely, one, we're going to see the Niners score, 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdowns. 2, they're going to be up in this game, the majority. And the first 2 picks are going to align with that. So it's going to be pretty simple. We're going with the under on Brock Purdy pass attempts. Don't think they're going to need to pass the ball. One, the Green Bay Packers have a great coverage unit as compared to their run defense. Jair Alexander is questionable in this one, which could really hurt them. But as far as the Packers coverage grade, they have a 75 coverage grade. That's 16th best. They're really middle of the pack in both, but their run defense only has a 63.1 grade, so it's much worse than their coverage unit, if you follow me. Then you factor in the game script of the Niners expecting to be up in this one. I think we see a lot of Christian McCaffrey. I think the Niners know they can just run it down the Packers' throats, and the first 2 picks are going to align with that. Christian McCaffrey is a major favorite to get in the end zone in this one, as he's done all year long. He's setting records for touchdowns for the Niners. He's got a 22.5 fantasy score. And as far as his game logs, what he's done throughout the season, you guys know who this guy is. If you're an NFL fan, you know Christian McCaffrey. Starting from week 1, as far as how many touchdowns he scored in like every week. Week 1 he scored, week 2 he scored, week 3 he scored, week 4 he scored, week 5. Week 6 was the first time that he did not score. And actually, he did score, not because he had a receiving touchdown on this far column. You can see the receiving touchdowns. I'm looking at the rushing touchdowns. So he's had a receiving or rushing touchdown in like every game. Arizona, he had 1 rushing touchdown, 2 receiving touchdowns. 1 here as far as in the rushing, 2 here in the rushing. Didn't get in the end zone on the rushing against Tampa, but he scored through the air. So you get the point. The guy is a touchdown machine. He's expected to score like every single game. He's a heavy favorite again in this one to score on DraftKings Sportsbook. He's the heaviest favorite to get in the end zone with minus 350 deuce on the over. So I wouldn't be surprised in the least to see McCaffrey score 2, 3, maybe even 4 touchdowns in this one. Am I banking on that? No. I think he can still hit his fantasy score regardless. And then you look at Brock Purdy as far as his pass attempts throughout the season. I mean, this is a guy that rarely broke 30. And it makes sense. The Niners are a really good team. They're going to be playing ahead in a lot of games, so they don't have to throw the football. 29, 25, 37 in this one against the Giants, but then 21, 24, 26, 25, 27, 25. So you get where I'm going with this one, guys. We're banking on the Niners getting up in this game early, holding the lead. The weather is another thing we're factoring in here, but the 30.5 pass attempts is too high of a line on Brock Purdy, in my opinion. I don't think he's going to break 31 passing attempts, and I think they're going to pound the rock, try to control this game. And it's positively correlated, these first 2 picks, right? If they're not passing the ball, they're running the ball. So we're taking the under on the pass attempts. Over on McCaffrey, it's positively correlated, obviously, because we don't want them passing the ball. We want them going to McCaffrey. It is a PPR format on Prizepicks, so you get a point for every single reception. So the times that they are passing the ball, we would prefer for them to be dumping it down to McCaffrey, I'll tell you that much. But yeah, McCaffrey's a heavy favorite to score a touchdown. It is a PPR format, like I said. McCaffrey can do it all, guys. And it's going to be a positive correlated first 2 picks for this ticket, right? Going with the under on the Brock pass attempts, the over on McCaffrey's fantasy. Expecting McCaffrey to find the end zone. And if not once, twice. He definitely gets in once. I think he gets in twice, and I think he could get in 3 times. You get 6 fantasy points for every one of those. For those of you that don't know how the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format works, you get 1 for every reception, 6 for receiving touchdowns, 6 for rushing touchdowns. So McCaffrey, all this is factored into his fantasy score. And as far as exactly where I have him projected here, I've got him getting in the upper 20s. So I've got McCaffrey going out there and getting like 27 fantasy points in the Prizepicks fantasy scoring format. So those would be the first 2. You get the point. We covered everything, but I just want to reiterate. We're taking the under on Brock, and we're taking the over on Christian McCaffrey because we want this game script to go a certain way. We want the San Francisco 49ers to be leading this game. They have a 52.1 pass ratio, a 47.9 run ratio. That's a really balanced attack in today's NFL, guys. We pull up the Green Bay Packers. They're throwing the ball like 60% of the time and running the ball 40% of the time. That's a lot more modern day NFL. So you get my drift here. They're going to go to McCaffrey a lot, and I think he gets in the end zone. He can get the job done through the air. It's a PPR format, and it's just a great spot to be attacking against a Packers team that, once again, is going to have a very difficult time stopping the run game. The Niners have a negative 33 pass block advantage as well. So they really don't line up well from a pass block advantage, but the run block, they have a 20% advantage, right? So everything's leaning our way for them to go run heavy. And then we'll run it back on the other side with this game script. If the Packers are going to be behind, what are they going to have to do? They're going to have to throw the football, whether they want to or not, right? It's a 10-point spread. Niners get up early. It's the playoffs. It's win or go home, right? So the Packers are going to have to try to battle their way back into the game. They're going to have to throw the football. So we'll start things off immediately with Jordan Love over pass attempts. I'll get that out of the way. Second, we're going to go with the Aaron Jones under rush attempts. Couple things going for us here on this one. One, the game script really doesn't favor them to run the ball a lot. 2, the Green Bay Packers are already a pretty balanced attack. The Green Bay Packers are already a pass-heavy attack, I should say. Passing the ball 60% of the time, running the ball only 40% of the time. 3, there's a possibility that A.J. Dillon returns in this game. A.J. Dillon was out last week. He has been working his way back. The latest report on A.J. Dillon as far as the practice report and all that stuff, just so you guys know exactly the latest report. Coach Matt LaFleur said Dillon thumb neck will be questionable for Saturday's divisional round matchup. At San Francisco, Dillon logged his first notable on-field work Thursday since sustaining a neck stinger in Week 17 at Minnesota. At the very least, he took part in the team stretch and had his helmet on prior to drills. on the Packers site, so he has a chance to return as the number 2 running back behind Aaron Jones. So we don't know if he's going to play. I'm not saying that I expect him to play, but this is just a nice little bonus on this next play, right? So Aaron Jones, I'm taking the under on his rush attempts because of the game script. I think the Packers get behind here early. And then a nice other little bonus is if we see A.J. Dillon come back in this one, he could cut into the workload of Aaron Jones even more, which would be fantastic. We don't know if this is going to happen, but something I want to mention before I continue the breakdown, because if we get that news that he's coming back, and you watch this video as soon as I release it, we could be getting even better value. So, yeah, I'll make things quick. I mean, it's really simplistic, right? The Packers are going to get it down. They're going to have to throw the football, so we're taking the over on Love's pass attempts. We're taking the under on Aaron Jones' rush attempts, and then obviously the play calling for the Packers. They tend to be more of a pass-heavy offense. So everything's going in our favor here for those two plays. And then the next two to finish out the 6-man that I really like is this double tight end set for the Packers. Tucker Kraft has come in and been the number 1 option for the Green Bay Packers. Both of these are rookie tight ends, Tucker Kraft and Luke Musgrave. I think people are forgetting, like, the only reason Luke Musgrave hasn't been dominating in the snap count is because he got hurt in week 11. He's been battling back from injury. He was working his way back on the practice squad in week 18. Only played 15% of the snaps in week 18, that final game, because he's working his way back from injury. He's getting back up to speed. They also don't want him to get hurt in a week 18 matchup when the playoffs are about to be ahead of us, right? So he returned last week, had a really solid outing. Tucker Kraft was playing like 90, 100% of the snaps here, week 12 through 18. He had a breakout campaign, but we go back to weeks 1 through 11 here, guys. Luke Musgrave was the number 1 tight end. So now they're running 2 tight end sets. Musgrave 75, 87, 87% of the snaps weeks 1 through 3, right? Tucker Kraft was barely seeing the field. 21.7% of the snaps, 4% of the snaps, 12% of the snaps. Then it got up to like 40, 50% of the snaps for Kraft. But he really stepped in when Musgrave got hurt, right? So now they're back, which is fantastic for the Green Bay offense. They have a dual attack at the tight end position. I think we're going to see a lot of 2 tight end sets from them. And as far as last week in the playoffs, how the snap counts broke out, Tucker Kraft played 79% of the snaps. He had a 43 offensive snap count. Then we go down to Musgrave. He only played 27% of the snaps. Do I think that's because, Kraft is just taken over and they don't want to get Musgrave on the field? Absolutely not. I still think it was like Musgrave's working himself back, right? So I think we're going to see this start to be more like a 50-50 split. And we're getting some really solid lines on Prizepicks for all that being said. I'll be the first to tell you this is not a great matchup, but we're talking about a team that's going to be down big. They're going to be throwing the ball nonstop for this game script. And these props can cash in garbage time. Like, the Niners are trying to win a Super Bowl here, guys, right? So if they get up big in this game, the Packers aren't going to give up. It's win or go home. They're going to keep throwing the ball, trying to come back. Niners, you could see them take their foot off the gas pedal a little bit. Their defense kind of just out there to get the game over with. They're just trying to go on to the next round and win a Super Bowl. If things go according to plan, that's what we're thinking here, right? Packers are going to keep throwing the football. They're going to keep trying to come back. So with that being said, 1, these tight ends lines are really low. 2, Musgrave's been working his way back from injury. 3, we look at the target share for this Green Bay receiving core. Musgrave is 5th on the team in targets on the year. He only played 12 games. Kraft played 18 games. Like I said, though, he didn't step in until later in the year. Both these guys, like 48, 42 targets. Then we look at their ADOT, their average depth of reception. Always something you want to look at when you're taking receiving yards props. 5.4 and 7.4. That's really solid for the tight end position. Like, tight ends, you're running some pretty shallow routes. We look at how Kraft's got the job done throughout the season. You can see it's a lot of that 0 to 10 yard range. 12 for 15 in the short right, 0 to 10 yard range. 7 for 7 over the middle, 95.7 receiving grade. Then you got 1 for 1 in the 10 to 20 range, 1 for 1 on the deep ball. But you get the point. It's going to be a lot of like 8, 7, 10 yard catches for these guys. But they have really good receiving grades. 99.3 receiving grade on the deep ball for Kraft, 84 receiving grade on the medium pass, and 96.3 receiving grade on the short pass. Then we switch it on over to Musgrave. Also really, really solid receiving grades. Like, you want the guy to be catching the football, obviously, if you're taking his over. We don't want drops, and we want him to be able to run routes at any other area of the field. Musgrave's a guy that's been a little bit more downfield. So you can see 3 for 4, 40 yards on this 10 to 20 yard range. His average depth of target is much higher than Kraft's. And then he's converted on the deep ball multiple times when he's been targeted, those 3 times throughout the season as well. So really solid receiving grades in all areas of the field for both these tight ends, both rookies. Both have been fantastic. A 98.5 receiving grade on the deep ball, 92 receiving grade on the medium, and a 93.6 on the short ball. So these two tight ends are really talented. Once again, Packers get behind. Packers already have a pass-heavy offense as is. They're going to have to throw the ball whether they want to. I know it's going to be raining. We already went over the weather in this game. But everything's matching up for this game script of all this stuff we're talking about, right? And I think that Musgrave's being massively misrepresented in this game. Last week, he had 3 receptions on 3 targets for 52 yards. Look at his game logs to start the season, guys. 50, 49, 34, 30 yards, 51, 64 as the tight end 1, right? Then he gets hurt. Then Kraft steps in, which we wouldn't even know that Kraft had the talent that he does if Musgrave doesn't get hurt, is my guess. And then Kraft steps in. He starts going, 37, 64, 57, 60 yards, 48 yards. Now they're both back, but their lines are in the teens. We pull up where these lines are set. Well, I'm sorry, Kraft is barely out of the teens at 22.5, but you get my point. They're putting up 40 yards a game. Kraft's at 22.5. He only put up 15 against Dallas last week. But keep in mind that game script. The Packers just killed the Cowboys, which no one anticipated. This game script we're playing they're coming from behind. They got to throw the ball, try to make their way back into this game against the Niners. And it doesn't have to be pretty for these guys to cash. 22.5 receiving yards for Kraft, 18.5 for Musgrave. We could be talking fourth quarter garbage time. The Niners are up by 30 points, and they're just trying to get ready for the Super Bowl. Packers are doing everything they can to get back in the game. They're throwing it down to the tight ends. Boom. The Niners aren't really worried about tackling. They're just worried about getting through the game and staying healthy, trying to win a Super Bowl. You get the point here. So I saw before I recorded, unfortunately, I will say one of these plays did get bumped. But I'm still going to do it because the game script. So we're going over on Love pass attempts. The rush attempts on Aaron Jones got bumped down. I got this at 16.5 on my VIP members. I already locked it in myself. That really stinks. But you know what? If Prizepicks lets me lock this in again, I'll lock it in live again with you guys in the stream because I'm always, not in the stream, the recording. I'm always going to back my plays. Kind of stinks that his line got bumped down. I did see there's a little bit, it got bumped down from, it was minus 130 on DraftKings Sportsbook on rush attempts on the under 16.5. Now it's at 15.5 and it's favoriting the over slightly at 125. But being that we're running a 6-man flex and we're positively correlating these plays, I'm going to back the play. And it sucks that it got bumped before I was able to record this and get this out to you guys. As soon as I hit the record button, I noticed it got bumped. But we're still getting a really positive game script. Hopefully, A.J. Dillon plays this game. Once again, we don't know that, but I really hope he does. He cuts in the workload of Jones. Maybe we see that rush attempts line drop down to even more to 14.5, 13.5. If Dillon's in, that'd be fantastic because I'm releasing this video to you early. So, you get the point, though, guys, with this game script. We're going over on Love pass attempts, under on Jones pass attempts. They're going to get behind this game. They're going to have to throw the football. And then this double tight end set, man, like I said, Musgrave, the only reason he hasn't been out there for a lot of snaps as far as I'm concerned is the guy was out for, how long? He got injured in week 11. He was playing 80% of the snaps. So he's been ramping his way back up. He got that first playoff game under his belt, full week of practice. I don't see how this line's this low. And like I said, I'm expecting some garbage time opportunity here. Even if these guys do nothing for 3 quarters, the Niners defense is disgusting. They're very good. So, but Niners take the gas pedal, the foot off the gas pedal. They want to win the Super Bowl. They're not worried about the Packers, ideally. If the game script doesn't go according to plan and the Packers shock the world, this isn't going to look good for us, but you get the point. We could be seeing some fourth quarter garbage time dump down passes to clear these props. So I did already lock this in. I did already send it to my VIP members, guys. My Prizepicks account has been limited now, like, so I can't. I used to place. I always back my plays. I used to place $400 per 60-man to win 10,000. I used to be capped to $10,000 winnings per athlete. They're now telling me I can't. If I try to do $400, it says maximum entry on your sport is 200. You can't see with the overlay. Let me take this off for you guys. And then, of course, it's still kind of off the screen. What if I zoom out here? Is that going to make it better or worse? Worse. Let's see if I zoom in. Yeah, so maximum entry, it says in the top right corner. Maximum entry amount for one of your sports is $200 right now. Once I do the $200, it's still not going to let me do it. For some reason, it says... it says amount to win maximum winnings are $1,000 right now. So I can only do $40. I did already lock this in at $40 before that bump on Jones, like I said. So just to prove it to you guys, like I locked this in earlier. And it sucks that Jones got bumped, but if they've been letting me win up to $5,000 per athlete. So let me see if I can lock this in again at the bump. I will, guys. You're never gonna see me promote plays on this channel that I don't back myself. Okay. So just for the sake of backing the play at the bump, you can see I locked this in at 9:55 a.m. I'm on the East Coast. I sent it into my VIP right away. They, anyone that tails me in the VIP, they were able to get this in right away. Okay. So we got it at 16.5 under rush attempts. If you see me post a winning ticket with the 16.5 and he rushed 16 times and you're like, what the heck, we didn't win? That's why. But I'll if they're going to let me, I'll lock it in again right now, like I said. Because it's a really positive game script. I really like this ticket. I have no issues backing my plays, guys, ever. So, and be responsible with your bankroll. Whatever you typically place, place. If you only typically play $5, play $5. Just because I like it a lot, and I'm showing you guys that I'm putting 40. Don't be irresponsible if you don't have the $40. Put in what you typically put in. That's the only thing I don't like about showing how much I'm putting on my videos. I don't want to promote being irresponsible with your bankroll. So now I'm going to have a total of $80 in this. For me, like I said, I used to place $400 a ticket. So even though I'm placing this twice, for full transparency, to be honest, for me, that's not as much as I would like to be able to put on it. So I don't want anyone being irresponsible. I want to make that very clear to you guys. So, so number one, we're going Jordan Love pass attempts. Number two, we're going Aaron Jones rush attempts. Which did get bumped down, unfortunately, but I'm going to back it again here. Number three, we're going Kraft receiving yards at 22.5. Number four, we're going Musgrave receiving yards at 18.5. Number five, we're going Brock Purdy under pass attempts. There it is. Sorry, guys. And then number six, we're going McCaffrey fantasy score. So I think will let me lock this in again at $40. They won't let me put more than 40, but they'll let me put 40 twice. And I can win up to $5,000 per athlete currently on my Prizepicks account. So we're going, okay, Jordan Love over pass attempts. Aaron Jones under rush attempts. Tucker Kraft over receiving yards. Luke Musgrave over receiving yards. Brock Purdy under 30.5 pass attempts. Christian McCaffrey over 22.5 fantasy score. I'm usually much quicker than this, but I'm covering a lot of things. I guess I'm being slow right now. So Love over pass attempts. Aaron Jones under 15.5. That did get bumped. Like I said, I will reiterate. It is what it is, but I'm going to back to play right now. If they let me place this, I'm going to put in my max 40 that I can once again at the new lines, okay? And then we get the Kraft and Musgrave double tight end combo. We get the Brock Purdy under pass attempts, and we got the Christian McCaffrey over 22.5 fantasy score. Let's try 400 again. It's not going to let me, but sure, we'll try. Nope. Max winnings is $200. Not going to happen. Then I put in it just says I can put in $200. I can't put in $200. I don't know why it says that every time, but it is what it is. Then it says max winnings 1,000. But if I do my 40, I should be able to place. Hopefully. Yes, I can. Successfully submitted entry. And we're locked in here. So, Jordan Love over pass attempts. Aaron Jones under rush attempts. Tucker Kraft over 22.5 receiving yards. Luke Musgrave over 18.5 receiving yards. Brock Purdy under 30.5 pass attempts. Christian McCaffrey over 22.5 fantasy score. So there you go. I backed the play at 15.5 on Jones. It really does suck that he got bumped. I really wanted to promote this to you guys at the 16.5 because there was some pretty good edge at that line. But if you want to get access to all my plays as soon as I place them, the KJK DFS VIP member package is going to be where it's at. You can join that today. It's going to be linked below in the description, and I'll comment it and pin it as the top comment as well. It's on Patreon. It's going to give you access to my Discord, which is going to give you access to all my tickets as soon as I place them. I set it in the Discord right away. I have a 5-star rating system. All that is telling you how much to put in the play. Majority of the plays are going to be 4-star 1-unit play. 5 is 2 units. 3 is a half a unit. 2 is a quarter of a unit. 1's a fun play. Like there's some things that happen during the season during the year, like the MLB Home Run Derby, some fun stuff. So like I want to have the option of if we want to have fun, just letting everyone know, like don't go crazy on it. That's kind of how that works in the VIP. But yeah, man. So Jones got bumped unfortunately, but like I said, I'm gonna rock with the Jones on the bump as well. Always going to back my plays. You will not see me promote a single play on this channel that I'm not putting my own money on. And like I said, if I was able to put more, I would. Typically, I wouldn't take a bump, but being that I'm promoting it to you guys for free on the channel, and the positive correlation is what really matters here, right, guys? Like we're going for the full 6 out of 6 sweep. The sweeps is where you really profit money. If the Green Bay Packers shock the world and they get up by 30 points like they did against the Cowboys, this ticket's going to be looking ugly. But the odds say no. I say no. Like, do we really think the Packers are going to beat up on the Niners? I don't think anyone watching this video does prior to this game happening, right? And I certainly don't as well. So, yeah, man, that's all for me. Hopefully you enjoyed the content. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future content that I upload. It is free. It takes 2 seconds to do. It does really help me out. And I'll be helping you guys out with these videos for free all NFL season long. We got the NBA going on as well. Once again, I'll have plays over in the premium. This is going to be my one video today on the channel. But I love this slip, man. I think the game script makes a lot of sense. The Packers are going to have to throw from behind. I don't think they're going to have success running the ball against the Niners. And I think we see a lot of 2 tight end sets from these Packers with Musgrave returning from injury. And even if they don't run a lot I don't think it's going to take a lot to cash these lines, man. I could certainly see some garbage fourth quarter if one of these guys hasn't cleared the line. As long as nobody gets hurt, love the ticket, man. Love the ticket. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Wishing you all the best of luck on your Prizepicks NFL player props tonight, and we will see you in the next one.